All right, we're in. Um, yeah, we got audio. You probably want to mute those mics.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody on? Yep. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm going to call to order the August 11th, 2026 meeting of the Elkhart Redevelopment Commission. As a reminder to the public, the Redevelopment Commission accepts in-person public comment and virtual public comment related to specific agenda items or during privilege of the floor. To participate virtually, please join us via Teams. Please raise your hand so we can make you visible and audible. Please be sure that your full name is displayed. Okay. First item is to amend the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second. Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next item, approval of the regular meeting minutes of July 14th, 2026. May I have a motion?
So move.
Second? Okay. Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay. Do we have any bids to open, Mr. Fan?
We do not.
All right. Next item is approval of the price on Karen Drive Realty and authorizing the negotiation of a purchase agreement.
Good afternoon. Adam Fan, Assistant Director of Redevelopment. So in your packet, you've got an agreement as well as a offer from the owner to sell the parcel at the end of Karen Drive. It's not actually part of the drive. It's a parcel at the end of it. To the Redevelopment Commission for $14,000. The intent with this parcel is to probably the September meeting, Gary, is that correct?
Probably.
We will have some resolutions for the commission to sign, and we will just immediately be giving this parcel over to the Board of Public Works as right of way. This parcel is intended to be used as right of way for a water connection that the utility has requested or required for any development that goes on at the Emerson site. There has to be a loop installed out onto Cassopolis Street. So this is just a way to get, from that parcel over to Cassopolis Street through right of way.
Okay.
So you would need a motion to approve accepting the offer at the price of $14,000 on the terms in the purchase agreement that is attached, which the seller has reviewed and already approved, and allocating $15,000 from the Cassopolis TIF area land and land improvements account ending in 4410000 to fund the price and to cover any miscellaneous costs.
So move.
Pardon?
It's on.
But he
Closing
said
costs.
15.
We just do a little bit more for closing costs and
Yeah.
things like that.
Second? Okay. I might hit it. Ooh. Any questions or comments from commissioners? Questions or comments from members of the public?
Hi, I'm Chad Rapp. I live at 218 Karen Drive. I'll just hold on a second. Ma'am, do you have that, the paper that I sent you or gave you? Because I seem to lost my copy already.
Okay. Oh, no need.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Good afternoon, members of the commission. My name is Chad Rapp, and I'm here today as the elected speaker for the 3 remaining property owners of Karen Drive who have legally unified to form a single unified front against the city's ongoing wrongful actions. I am here to place critical facts into the official record regarding the parcel the city is attempting to purchase today. The specific plot is a fragment of the already approved 16-acre Emerson Marketplace planned unit development. The actual physical condition of this land is entirely undeveloped woods and grasses. It completely fails to meet the legal standard statutory definition of a blighted property or an area needing redeveloped under Indiana law. Labeling an active multi-million-dollar PUD as blighted simply to push through a land acquisition is a clear legal pretext. We believe the city is executing this maneuver solely to circumvent its previous erroneous actions and civil violations regarding Karen Drive acquisition in 2022 and 2023. The city improperly took the first 525 feet of our shared private drive to install a water and sewer loop for the very apartment planned on that 16-acre parcel. The city cannot claim ignorance of these violations. In the official records of the City Plan Commission, the City Council, the city was provided explicit documentation that includes the 2002-2003 city attorney statement pledging to honor the residents' rights to keep Karen Drive private, alongside paperwork from the original property owner detailing the exact purpose of the easement. Furthermore, I'm going to skip that. This establishes a clear documented pattern of bad faith by the city of Elkhart. You are now engaging in the exact same unconstitutional processes against a unified property owners of Karen Drive for a secondary right-of-way. I urge each member of this commission to understand a critical legal reality. The city attorney does not represent each of you. It only represents the interest of the city. By violating our rights and approving this transaction, despite clear evidence of bad faith and constitutional violations, you are actively placing your qualified immunity in jeopardy. And a federal civil rights lawsuit is filed. You can be held personally accountable and assessed individual damage that the city cannot legally pay for you. On behalf of our unified property owners, I strongly advise this commission to table this item immediately before you vote yourselves into personal legal liability. So the whole reason that they want this little 150 by 250 piece of land is to get a back door to be able to run a right of way to run those water and city loops that we hear that they can't run any other way. DLZ, back in November, I believe it was you guys that voted to approve DLZ to do some surveying, which was postponed by the city. Then in January, I got an email from the city. It says, we don't need the DLZ to do it anymore. We can go ahead and do what we want because the Plan Commission already voted to approve it. So we don't need it. Then I went in front of the city council and I provided paperwork. We talked to a city attorney, the three property owners, and their whole thing, the city attorneys were like, well, you're misunderstanding things. No, I'm not. They did it wrong. They know it. By law, the whole acquisition of Karen Drive should be null and void because we were never served due notice when it happened. So that's a violation. And now this is continuing. So if you think about it, from 2022 to now, it's 2026. That's 4 years of dealing with this. And this is opening up you guys personally to a lawsuit on top of everything else that the city is going to get. But the good news for me is now I have the access to the tort, which only allows you 180 days to file suit. And now I have that again, because before I wasn't knowledgeable and I let the time run out on my own. That was my mistake. But I appreciate this action that has happened because now it gives me full authority to sue the city in federal court. Thank you very much. I'll hand this back to you.
Want this to be part of the record? Thank you. You too. Any other, I wanted to see if there are any other public comment. Nope. Mr. Fain,
I think you guys are voting.
you're waiting for, okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, Mr. Fain.
State Street?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to say that.
Yeah.
I thought you were anticipating me. Okay. Authorizing offering of real estate on State Street.
So these two parcels at the end of State Street are kind of left over right of way that the commission has owned for some time. The adjacent property owner is interested in purchasing these parcels. So we're asking the commission to offer them for sale to the public.
So you would need a motion to approve the offering of the two parcels listed on the resolution for sale at a highest and best use of residential, approving the offering sheet that is attached to the resolution, and the offering price that is listed, as well as approving the publishing of the public notice, which is also attached to the resolution.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
What you get for coming late. Yeah, kidding. Any questions or comments from members of the commission? Questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next one, 131 use agreement.
So the owner of the Afiri Ramen and Boba Tea restaurant right next to the 131 has asked to use the space for a kind of a pop-up hibachi event that she wants to do. So in your packet, you have an agreement that Mr. Boyne has come up with for the single use of that space for her event. I think she said there's only going to be between 10 and 12 customers. So it's not like it's going to be like a full, restaurant kind of situation. But yeah, she's looking for permission to use the space for an event.
So you would need a motion to approve the request for access to the property on the date designated in the agreement and approving the form of agreement authorizing the president to execute the same and deliver the agreement.
So move. Second.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners? I think this is an excellent way. It's a public space and
Yep.
it's going to be utilized. It's
Yes.
great. Any questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Adam, can you just explain? So there's two pergolas and what else is on there and tables?
So there's a small shipping container that we've converted into kind of a kiosk or, somewhere that somebody could potentially serve, beverages out of or something like that. We've not quite gotten to that point yet. We're going to work with Gary on writing a lease agreement so to where somebody could lease just the container. The space will continue to be public, but then the container could be a leasable space. And then, on the agenda, there's a change order for some furniture that we're hoping to fund and then get installed. I think there's 4 picnic tables and like four or five kind of standing bistro style standing around tables, but
Are they anchored at all?
they will be, yes. Yep, and then there's lighting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Are they staying during the winter or will they pull them?
They'll stay year round.
Okay.
Yeah, just like any of the picnic tables in the parks, things like that.
All right, thank you. Okay, amendment to the 2026 spending plan.
Good afternoon, Mike Huber, Development Services Director. As you all are aware, I think starting in 2025, the state redevelopment statute required the staff and the commission to adopt spending plans. There was very little guidance given to or included in the statute on what that means or doesn't mean. We have consistently been trying to work with the controller's office to develop our internal processes and systems where we look at TIF a little bit more like some of the other city budget lines as opposed to the way they've consistently operated previously, and how that spending plan outlines and guides those resources. Again, we have an ongoing balance in the TIF. That it's not all we're not always accounting for a zero budget. It's not like a typical city budget fund where we allocate budget certain dollars and spend until they're gone or not. We just tried to allocate on an annual basis what we think we're going to spend. And today we just want to specifically talk about the downtown spending plan. In February, first we made an adjustment to the downtown spending plan in February. We indicated in there a line item and attributed a title to that line item of professional services. That line item was actually contract services. So we wanted to first clean up that the February adjustment that was made in the spending plan was to move $500,000 from the contract services line as opposed to the professional services line, which had $2.5 million in it allocated to it in the original spending plan. Towards, I think it was infrastructure, which didn't have anything in it. So it would have, after February, would have had $500,000 and does right now. Additionally, so as we're looking at the expenditures and specifically after the appropriation was made last month for the additional funds needed at the con site for environmental remediation, there was an appropriation made by this commission in the amount of $1 million to the Brownfield Services Fund. We didn't bring the spending plan. We hadn't anticipated or incorporated that. The spending, again, we're getting used to the spending plan piece. So what we want to do today is we want to come back and just within the context of the dollars that were originally allocated and the total of $6.756 million that the commission presented that we would be spending in 2026. We just want to make a series of adjustments within the spending plan in order to accommodate that $1 million shift of an appropriation into Brownfield Services. And so as such, we'd like to move $150,000 from the professional services account, which had $400,000 in it, and would leave $250,000 in that account. From professional services to Brownfield Services. Additionally, we'd like to move $350,000 from the contract and other services account to the Brownfield Services. Again, that was the one that had, after the February adjustment, $2 million in it. So that would leave $1.65 million in that account. We would like to move $450,000 from infrastructure. We anticipated, when we were in the spending plan process, we anticipated having to potentially incur some costs related to the infrastructure as part of the South Main Street and Freight Street projects. We now know the RIF loan will cover all of those, so we won't need those dollars in that account anymore. So we'd like to now move those back to the Brownfield Services account where we know we have those expenses, and then transfer $25,000 from the infrastructure account to the land improvements other than buildings to help accommodate the proposed adjustment for Park 131 that you'll hear for the furniture later. So those are the adjustments we're looking for. Again, we're not anticipating bringing or appropriating any new additional dollars to the spending plan. We still plan to live within the expenses that we projected for 2026. I'll let you know that we will still have about $50,000 in professional services to spend, and we'll probably still have about $300,000 in the contract and other services to spend after these adjustments. Or I'm sorry, about $90,000 in contract and other services after these adjustments are made. Happy to answer any questions.
So you would need a motion to approve amending the 2026 spending plan as it pertains to the downtown allocation area in the amounts and pertaining to the accounts, all as set forth in the form of resolution presented to you, and authorizing those amendments to be filed with the DLGF as required.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments from the commissioners? Questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you. Alrighty. Hang on, I lost my
Here, what do you need?
agenda. In here somewhere. There it is.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay. Walker Consultants contract for parking analysis.
Yeah, so in your packet, you'll have a contract. There's a scope. We reached out to Walker. We've made some shifts and some adjustments, post two-way, one-way to two-way traffic adjustments, and some of the development opportunities that we're working through. One, we wanted to take a minute, kind of reflect those counts and update our counts. It's been about 3 or 4 years since we've had our counts done. So we hear there's not parking. I think that means there's not parking exactly where I want to park, but we want to quantify that and update those counts. So that's part of this study. Analyze how our new parking allocations are or aren't working. And then a second component of this project is, as we make investments into parking structures as related to development projects, one in the River District and one at the former courthouse, we'd like them to help us with a shared parking analysis that looks at the density of the residential that would be parking in that and the times frames that they would be using that, as opposed to and in conjunction with users of downtown, whether it's commercial or events or whatever during the day, and employees of nearby buildings that would use the parking structures during the daytime hours when the residents would be working, and just kind of make sure we have an understanding that what the capacities of use could be anticipated to be, and understand how that impacts our overall broad parking strategy.
So you would need a motion to approve the employment of Walker at a fee not to exceed of $32,500 to perform the parking analysis, approving the form of contract for services that is attached to the resolution, and allocating $32,500 from downtown allocation number 1 professional services account ending in 4310400 to cover the cost of the services.
So move.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners? You did that so well. Any questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next item, GNW VRP closure engagement letter.
We in the past employed Ice Miller out of Indianapolis to provide legal services on the GNW VRP closure of the site involving cleanup of the environmental issues on that site. Brent Huber, who has been the lead attorney on that, has transferred from Ice Miller to McCarter and English, another very good law firm out of Indianapolis. And Ice Miller is fine with us changing that representation over to McCarter and English and continuing to work with Brent. So we would need a motion from you to approve the engagement of McCarter and English to provide the legal services on the terms that were set forth in the engagement letter and authorizing the execution of that letter.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners? Any questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, next item. Award office furnishings for new city offices at Woodland Crossing.
Good afternoon. On July 14th, the commission received one proposal from Office Interiors for furniture, fixtures, and equipment. They also received one after the deadline, so we did not consider that in the proposals for the office furnishings. On August 6th, the review team met and determined unanimously that the proposal from Office Interiors met the criteria of the RFP. And so we are recommending Office Interiors be granted a contract for furniture, fixtures, and equipment.
So you would need a motion to approve the award of the furniture, furnishings, and equipment for the offices at Woodland Crossing to Office Interiors in the amount of $70,428.24 and allocating the sum of $120,000 from the consolidated TIF area buildings and structures account 4453-5-000-4420400 to pay the costs of the F&E and any other contingencies that may arise in installation, et cetera, of the equipment with any unused funds to be returned to the appropriate account and authorizing execution of all contracts that are necessary.
May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners? Any questions or comments from members of the public?
I just have one, I just like to make one clarification here. I understand that the title of the of what the agenda item is awarding office furnishings for new city offices. I'd just like to clarify, as part of the master development plan, we worked with Neighborhood Evolutions and we contemplated a shared working and office space within the development that would be supportive of whichever of the CDC or the organization that we were working to form that would come behind the city as owners. The idea that these would become city occupied offices resulted in the overcrowding we have in our current space and the lag time between the opening of the Chase building, where we will potentially move to, and the fact that we haven't identified or completely moved forward with identifying that CDC. We're still on that process. So until we had that, we felt it was an okay use for the city development services team to move in and occupy that space. We're actually building it for the folks that come behind us. We're just going to occupy it.
Thank you. Plus, you have a lot of people in a very small space right now. So. Did I ask for a motion?
Yes, I
We
think you
did,
did.
and we got one. Okay. Oh, any comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay. Award Windsor Sidewalk Cassopolis Lighting Project Proposal.
On July 14th, the commission received two proposals for the Windsor Sidewalk and Cassopolis Lighting Project. They were from Premium Concrete Services and Reith Riley Construction. After reviewing the proposals, it was determined that Reith Riley is the qualified contractor providing the lowest responsible and responsive bid.
So you would need a motion to approve the award of the the pedestrian lighting and stormwater improvements along East Windsor Avenue and Cassopolis Street to Reith Riley Construction Company in the amount of $513,600 and allocating that sum from the Cassopolis TIF area account 4450-5-000-4420000 to pay for the project and authorizing execution of all contracts.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners? Questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, lien release for 1420 Maple Road.
Good afternoon, Mary Casca, Assistant Director, Community Development, City of Elkhart. This is a NSP home, Neighborhood Stabilization Program home that dates back 15 years. The homeowner has lived there the entire time, so her 15-year period of living there has finally arrived. So this is a release of the lien and restrictive covenants that were first put on the home 15 years ago.
So you would need a motion that acknowledges that the NSP restrictive covenants have been fully complied with and all obligations under the agreement have been fully satisfied and need to be forgiven, and approving the execution and recording of the releases of lien and restrictive covenant agreement that exists with authorization to execute and record the releases.
May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners? I drove by there and she has kept it in very good shape. It's very nice.
Good.
Any questions or comments from members of the audience or public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, Mennonite Thrift Shop Access Agreement.
This is a temporary use of 148 West Hively Suite 11 at Woodland Crossing for Mennonite Thrift. As they get into the winter months, they need a place to store donations. For the last 2 years, they used another space that we have. This year, they're moving over to really directly across from their back door. It's a little bit bigger than where they were before, which was 138 West Hively number 4. So they this will run from September through February, and it's just a temporary use of space.
So you would need a motion to approve the request for access from Great Lakes Mennonite Thrift Inc. for the space at 148-11 Woodland Crossing for the period and on the terms that are stated in the agreement, and approving the form of access agreement, which is attached, and authorizing its execution.
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commissioners? Questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, those are up here. Park 131 equipment change order.
On April 22nd, Premium Services was given a notice to proceed for the Park 131 project. To date, Premium Services has reached substantial project completion, which is ahead of schedule, and they're under budget.
Hey,
A component of the design of this project that was not included in the bid documents was public seating and tables. This component was not initially included in the contract due to early cost estimates being cost prohibitive. After further consideration of the type of furnishing that would fit in this downtown location, the number of seating and table options required, and obtaining additional cost estimates, it has been determined that public seating within the Park 131 can and should be included as a component of the project. The Department of Redevelopment is requesting the commission allow premium services to provide 4 4-seat tables and 5 bar height tables for the Park 131 project at a cost not to exceed $41,000.
So you would need a motion to approve the proposed change order, which would raise the contract price totally to $290,850 with premium concrete services, and allocating the sum of $41,000 from the downtown allocation area number 1 improvements account ending in 4430100 to cover that additional cost with any unused funds to be returned to the appropriate account, and authorizing the execution delivery of the change order.
May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Second.
Questions or comments from the commissioners? Questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Neighborhood Evolution Contract.
As the commission is aware, the city has been engaged with neighborhood evolutions for the past 2 years, working through the redevelopment and master planning and providing technical assistance as we navigate the many aspects of the Woodland Crossing project. The current contract expired at the end of July. We have a proposal and a proposed contract in your packet to to create a new contract that incorporates many of the components from the previous contract, add some additional not to exceed dollars as optional outside vendor expense related to some design services, and carries us through August through the end of December. The amount of the proposed contract is $42,500.
So you would need a motion to approve the employment of Neighborhood Evolution LLC to perform the services set forth in the agreement at a fee not to exceed $42,500, approving the form of contract that is attached to the resolution authorizing its execution, and allocating $42,500 from the consolidated TIF area special account 4453-5-000-4310400 to cover the cost of those services.
May I have a motion? Oh, sorry. Second. Any questions or comments from the commissioners? Questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, professional service agreement with Public Works and JPR.
If you'll remember, when we were discussing and negotiating the development agreement with River District Development Corporation for the proposed mixed use and parking garage project, there is an existing sewer line that runs behind the current building that's there, kind of mid-block through that block. And that has to be relocated as part of the development of the new project. The commission at that time agreed that the city would absorb costs related to design for that. In my early conversations with Jeff, we anticipated maybe using River District funds that the city had allocated in the Public Works Department. Jeff reached out to me and said that, in fact, he didn't have those resources available like he thought he did. And we agreed that TIF would be a good solution to fund the relatively small amount of $18,700 for the design only services for this part of the project. So you have a contract that was executed between JPR and Public Works. We just would like to allocate funds out of the professional services line item in order to fund those improvements.
So you'd need a motion to approve the funding request, requesting that Public Works execute and supervise all contracts necessary to perform the work, and allocating $18,700 from allocation area number 7 special fund account 4445 -5-000-4310400 to assist in covering the cost of the local public improvements with any unused funds to be returned to the appropriate account.
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commissioners?
Do you have
Question.
any anticipated time frame for this work?
They're going to start the work right away. They want to get the head on the design. I think in terms of the development itself, I think, excuse me. I think they're still working to relocate one of the two tenants in that building before they can move forward on demolition and starting construction. They had to the end of this year in order to do that, based on our development agreement, and then start construction in 2027 with completion at the end of 2028. So
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from members of the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, staff updates.
Just have a couple, so you may or may not have seen. Roberts Environmental and HIS is on site at Consite. They've started bringing in equipment and they will start doing excavations probably next week. I did get an email, the representative for the EPA that's been doing indoor air quality testing in the houses in the Crawford neighborhood. So it has to do with our Walter Piano plume. She will be back on site next week to do indoor air quality testing on any of the homes that want that work. And then Jacob and I did a final walkthrough on the 131 this morning, couple punch list items to take care of, and then hopefully we'll get power in like a week or two through AEP. So
It already
Thanks,
looks gorgeous.
what's that?
It already looks gorgeous.
I know it's cool, isn't it?
A
I
lot
love it.
better than a falling building.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, next item is approval of the Warwick and Boyne invoice.
In the total amount of $14,118.31.
May I have a motion to approve,
I move
please?
that we pay that.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And I don't think we got a TIF report this month. Okay, I'll also now open the floor for any public comment concerning anything that was on the agenda today or any other matters before the commission. There being none, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all very much.